Welcome to my channel. I'm Ria and I'm here to guide you through a slow flow class today. If you have a block, maybe even two, depending on how you like it, you're welcome to bring it along. Cross yoga is Christian yoga and that's for everybody. Today I'm gonna share a little bit, drip in some topics on spiritual growth because I think that is important, whatever you interpret that as. Take a seat and breathe for a moment. You can let your palms rest on your thighs or knees, maybe facing up today. Find a comfortable seat that makes sense for your body with a tall spine. And maybe you begin by sighing out a couple of times to let go of things that are, I always say, in the front row of your mind. Creating space by letting go of the things typically in the front row that are worries or not positive things. When you are ready, breathe deeply, feeling chest and belly expand as you inhale. And slowly return back as you exhale. The rise and fall of belly and chest as you breathe. And I will say a short prayer. You might just listen along, you might pray along, whatever works for you. God, help me to grow, not only as a human being, maybe grow in strength and wisdom, but also spiritually. Help me to mature in my faith. Create space for that during our practice today. And let's slowly warm up the spine. Remember, you can always adjust to any posture your body don't feel like today. Just do something else or take a rest in child's pose on the mat. But right now, if you're with me, you can take your left hand on your right thigh or leg, twist gently to the side. I'm mirroring you, so we're going in the same direction. Sitting really tall without leaning back. And as you inhale, bring the arms up overhead like a half circle. And exhale, hands down on the other side. Let's continue with that. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, twisting or rotating. Maybe you use your ujjayi breath, the snoring, exhaling sound. Breathe in and out through your nose. One more time to right and left side. And then come to the middle. Use your wrist, some sort of finger, wrist movement. Maybe you extend your legs out. Then find tabletop. Traditional cat-cow. You're always welcome to fold the mat for the sake of your knees or find a blanket. As you bring your hands down underneath the elbow and shoulder, make sure you don't hyperextend the elbows. Bring the belly button in so you have a little bit of tension in the belly, and take a big inhale through your nose if possible. And exhale, cat, so spine towards the sky, and maybe you move your hip a little bit behind your shoulders. Inhale, cow. And move with your breath slow and steady. Do you remember when you were a child? Maybe you have seen pictures when you were a baby. We can't remember that. Without hair, or I was at least. And maybe pictures or videos of where you started to walk. You grew taller, maybe decided what kind of clothes you would wear. You went to school. All of that, how you grew and developed. Maybe you didn't think too much about it, but your parents knew. And then flatten out your spine one more time. Bring your hands further to the front so we prepare for our downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hip up and back. Extending the legs. Take a firm grip with your fingers, also the fingertips into the mat. Bend and stretch one leg at a time, moving your hip. Bringing the shoulders away from the ears if they tend to move up there. And let's begin a warming up sequence. Let's do a little bit gentle the first time. Bring the right leg up and back. Don't need to move it up the highest, and bring the knee underneath your belly and to the top of the mat. So just move the right hand for there to be space. Rise up into your high lunge. Sink down as you bend the front leg to extend the back leg to some degree. Bring the arms out to the side for sort of airplane wings as you lean slightly forward. Palms together in front of your head, and then rise up, pushing through the front leg. Tall spine. Pivot the back foot into your warrior two so that the front heel might be aligned with the back arch. Bring the arms out to warrior two. Gaze over front hand and make sure your neck is not in this forward carriage. Big breath. Reverse the front hand and lean back for peaceful warrior. You can take a hold of the back leg. Maybe you keep this shape to some degree, but extend the front leg and pivot the foot around so you get into a wide-legged stand, still leaning what was back before. Might still be back. And let the back hand now reach the front foot. So your left hand slowly come down. Maybe you use the block here towards the right foot. Other arm up towards the sky. Gentle twist. Bring both hands down. Maybe you let go of the block and somehow return to the ball of the foot, into that high lunge. Don't lift your hands up though. But bring the right leg up and back for that three-legged dog one more time. Bend the knee. Bring right knee to left elbow in a plank variation. Remembering you can always come down on your knees if you prefer. Step the foot back so you find a regular plank. Tall, long spine, belly button in. Bring it down on your knees and lower down. Maybe not all the way. Maybe it's just your belly button down before you lift into a baby cobra. Take your hands off the mat. Then bring both hands in, maybe a little bit behind the shoulder blades, elbows in. Lift and push through the arms. Gently back into your down dog again. Take a breath. Left leg, bring it up again. Bend the knee, move the spine up to create space, and bring the left foot to the front. Feet as on train tracks, and lift through the front heel into the high lunge. Belly button in as you lean forward and arms comes out to the side. No need to go super deep yet. Like you're catching a bug on front of your head, on top of your head. Bring the palms together on top of your head, still leaning forward. And then rise up with that tall spine without moving your legs yet. Then pivot the back foot for that warrior two. Bring the leg where they're supposed to go for warrior two, and then bring the arms out. Gaze to the front hand. Maybe you shrug at the shoulders a little bit. Peaceful warrior. Top palm up, lean back. Breathe. From the hip or the belly button maybe, let that be where it is. If you can, extend the front leg. Turn around so you get into this wide-legged position as we did before. Top hand is going to reach back. So your left hand reaches towards the right foot and maybe the other arm goes up. Bring both hands down on the mat, kind of crawl to the top of your mat again where you normally would be. Both hands down, step the left foot back and just move as it makes sense for that three-legged dog with left leg up. Bring left leg to right elbow. Remember your knee options. Step the foot back for a plank. Exhale, lower down on toes or knees. Again, lift up without the use of your hands. Maybe stay high as you bring your hands and palms down. Lift into your kind of plank back to down dog. And you can sway your hip, maybe get your feet a little bit wider, whatever works for you. So you have grown physically. You have grown in wisdom. But what about your faith? Your spiritual path, if it is your purpose in life, is that what you interpret that as? Or if it's faith in God, the Bible? Have you grown? Or have you a childish faith of some sort still? Repeating that sequence as we develop strength and endurance in our body. Lift the right leg up. You might inhale. And exhale the right foot to the top of the mat. Prepare for high lunge. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, sink into your lunge. Inhale, lean forward. Bring the arms out to the side. Maybe going slightly deeper than before. Exhale, palms together on top of your head. Prepare for warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pivot the back foot. Bend the front knee. Bring your arms out. Reverse inhale. Lean back. Keep bending the front leg. Stay here. Inhale, front leg extends, pivots. Exhale, stay in your side bend. Back hand to front leg. Inhale, lift. Left hand, right foot. Exhale, twist. Slowly release that. Walk around. Inhale. Step the right foot back. Exhale, three-legged dog. Lift the leg. Inhale. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, bring it to plank. Exhale, lower down. Lift off without support of your hands. Inhale. Exhale, let the chest stay high. Get your hands down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, slowly turn back. Exhale to your down dog. One breath before we repeat. Lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it to the front. Rise. Inhale. Exhale, high lunge. Lean forward. Inhale, belly button in. Exhale, palms meet. Inhale, prepare for warrior two. Extend, pivot the back foot. Exhale, your warrior two. Arms out. Inhale, reversed. And find the peaceful variation. Exhale. Inhale, lift the front foot. Exhale, stay in that side stretch. Top arm reaches down to back leg. Exhale. Slowly walk yourself around on the mat. Inhale. You might fit with an exhale, lifting the right leg up and back. Inhale here. Exhale, left leg, right elbow. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale, lower down. Take your time. Inhale, lift the chest. Stay with the chest, but hands down. Exhale, tuck the toes. Inhale, maybe through a plank. Exhale, down dog. Come to the front of the mat, fold forward. A little pause here. Ragdoll maybe. Typically, we grow when we are experienced to challenges. But so often we want to avoid the challenge. We want to avoid suffering, which makes a lot of sense to some degree. But take your mountain pose. Maybe sometimes we need to stand tall in the middle of the challenges and not run away of suffering. Because that is where we grow, also spiritually. So try to stand tall. Maybe pray for wisdom and courage to stand tall also when met with troubles, sufferings, challenges, hard decisions. Slowly take a chair. It doesn't have to be the deepest one because we're not going to stay in the chair. We're going to do eagle pose. So you stay at your mat. I'm just going to turn for the sake of the video. So a high chair kind of position. Take the right leg, cross it over. Either keep the toes down, lift the toes, or wrap, if you can, your leg around. And we'll just do prayer pose. If you know that one with eagle, welcome to do so. Just going to take a few breaths here. Leaning forward like you would in a chair. One more breath. Focus your gaze. And let's dance. So after being wrapped around, see if you can release the right leg. Bring the right leg back. Right thumb pointing back. Grab the arch of the foot, the inside of the foot. Bring the knee back, not out to the side, as you may be, to some degree. Lean forward. Kicking your foot into your hand. Bring the heel away from the glute. Breathe. One more. See if you can let go of the foot and slowly let it land towards the back of the mat. High lunge. But with a prayer. So hands in front of your chest. Shoulders away so that the bottom of the arm is aligned with the floor. It's not up here or down here. Twisting towards your front leg, left leg. You can stand tall if the belly is a little bit away for different reasons, or see if you can get the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh or knee. And then maybe a fun challenge. Bring the back foot to meet the front. So we get into chair with a twist. So if you feel like, I'm not sure, just get out of it and get into your chair, same direction as our high lunge. Sink your hip low. Shoulders away from the ears. And release. Come into high mountain. Let's lift up. So after being wrapped around an eagle in this chair, let's open up. Get some distance in between your feet. Lean back to the extent that you feel like and open up everything. Arms out to the side. So when we're squeezed, we can open up our body, souls and minds, spirits for growth, learning. And then we have to remember that it's not done. Life is not just one challenge. Sometimes challenges return in other shapes and sizes. I am grateful that I believe in God to help me through all these things, because nobody will live without any sort of suffering. So I'm getting ready for my eagle pose, other side. Left foot, wrap around, stay with the foot down. Lift the foot off or wrap around. Hip aligned with the short end of the mat if you can. Using your Ujjayi breath if you like that. Release the eagle, left leg back. See if you slowly can balance. Right thumb pointing back. Grab again the arch, the inside of the foot. Slowly bring the leg back. And the other arm to the front. Gaze on the floor. Breathe a lot. Slowly release the left foot, bring it to the back of the mat. High lunge, arms up, sink down, maybe deep, maybe not so deep. You choose. Hands to prayer, twisting. Maybe again standing tall with the spine or leaning slightly forward, bringing the, must be left elbow to the thigh. Create space in front of your chest. Let's do it. Bring the back foot to meet the front if you can. Chair pose. So feet completely together, knees together, thighs together if your thighs allow. One more. It's okay to be challenged. And then fall forward this time. Bowing down in maybe humility posture here. Get some distance in between your feet. And you might hold onto your legs as you fold forward. Slowly let go, and now it's time to bring your block along, if you have it. Sit down on the mat. Any back issues, you might sit really nice and tall and don't lean so much back. Block with you. You might even use a weight if you prefer. But lean back, belly button really squeezed in, shoulders back, and push a little bit into the block. Maybe you stay here with heels down. Maybe you go for a twist, a rocking boat, or whatever you call it. Take an inhale and exhale, move to your right side. Inhale back to the leaned back middle. Exhale left. And continue to move from side to side. If you're into yoga and have done a lot of yoga and also in studios, you might have heard that life is all about growing as a human being, maybe also spiritually, but more that the purpose of living is growing more wise. I don't believe that's the full purpose, because I think it's a little bit empty to some degree, that the purpose is just for me to grow wiser. Hopefully, there is more purpose than that. The purpose that I have a life with Christ, with the people that I love after I'm dead. And talking about death is not super popular. We can be anxious about it. Pausing here, bring the block down, come down, knees bent on your back. But sometime to grow spiritually, we need to face ourselves with the fact that we will die someday. I know you didn't do yoga to hear about this, but but it is a fact. And that is where my faith becomes powerful. I'm not left alone in that situation either. Now bring your block. Maybe you can use a bolster. Maybe you need a blanket or a towel or something on top of the block. We're going to lift the hip up and bring the block underneath the sacrum. So not the lumbar part of the spine, but further down. And you can go low, middle, or highest. It really depends. The focus is on the back bend. So I like my knees bent and actually bring it up highest. I'm not super flexible in my spine, but this works wonders for me. So no pushing off the block into the lumbar lower part of the spine. We're on the hip. Let's see if you can make the body relax and stay in this physical challenge. Relaxing. Breathe in. Get ready to move the block. So if your feet are not on the floor, bring them to the floor or the mat. Lift the hip up so you can remove the block. And bring this whole spine down. And then it can be really nice to go for a hug with the spine really kind of flat on the mat. Butterfly pose. Bring the sole of the feet together. And of course you can use the block for support if you feel like you need extra underneath the leg or something. Belly button slightly in so you don't have this huge arch in your back. And maybe your hands can reach the inner thighs. Relax everything and breathe as I just read a few verses from the Bible. James letter. So just close your eyes and listen. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So testing our faith, and of course it's also to sisters in faith. So challenges, let's not stray away from them as fast as we can. But ask God, what do you want me to learn from this? So I can mature spiritually. Slowly bring your knees in again. Maybe it's nice to bring the feet up towards the sky and wiggle them. We'll have just a short time of rest. And if you feel that, bring your legs up against the wall. If you have one nearby, that's so amazing for a couple of minutes. So you just simply turn around, hip towards the wall there, and bring the legs up. Or you can go for a chest opener, where you will have the block, now that we have it maybe, in between your shoulder blades, like that. Of course, you're resting on the floor. So I would bring my block down. Again, blankets can be put over it. Find that. Might take a few kind of trials, or not trials, but attempts to find the right spot. My neck is not particularly fun with this leaning back, so if you have an extra block, you might bring that. But so that have this small chest opener, whatever works. Find the deep, calm breath. And maybe ask for God's wisdom or knowledge to grow in faith. Maybe you long to know why you're here. What's your purpose? Maybe you long to find that peace also through death. Or maybe you know that your faith has not changed since you were a child. And you sense there is more, and you want to grow. Ask God for help, and just stay for a moment. Take the last deep breath. Maybe you sigh out. If there was anything that really spoke to you, Let it linger a little bit longer as you move your feet and hands and wrists and stuff. Bring your knee into a hug or roll onto the side for a fetus pose. And if you are ready, you can take a seat. From my heart to yours, thank you for participating, and may you grow spiritually in wisdom, knowledge. From my heart to yours, thank you.